All right, second graders, welcome to our high frequency words, grammar, phonics presentation for Unit 4, Week 1. You can see from this first slide that we should be in present mode, so I'm going to go ahead and hop in there. All right, so as it is it's already loaded. Perfect. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to click through to the next slide, and it says, let me move this. What makes different parts of the world different? So let's look at this picture. What do you see? It's the desert. Does it look hot? It looks sandy. It looks dry. Like, use your imagination. What do you see? And then imagine a rainforest. Both of these places exist on our Earth, right? So we have this piece of the desert with these tall rock formations. This looks like someplace that could be in Utah, so maybe southern Utah. And then a rainforest, right, where it's wet. There's lots of different types of animals. There's lots of plants. There's not a lot of plants here. So what makes different parts of the world different? That's our essential question for this week. So everything that we're doing is trying to help us answer that question. Let's go ahead and go on to our next slide. So you're going to watch this video that is talking about Unit 4, Week 1, and it's going to kind of just be like our overview of what we're looking at this week for our phonics, our grammar, our writing, our reading, everything.
All right,
And then we're going to get into our sound fluency list and our word fluency list and our phrases, our sentences, all of that. So this week we are working with a phonics pattern where there are silent letters. All right, so let's go ahead and look at some of our silent letters that we're reading. So I'm just going to point some of these out to you. So this MB. Sometimes when MB is together, like at the end of a word, like the word crumb, it just says So when we read this, we're going to say this GN. When GN is together, it says N. So the G is silent, like in the word gnat, a little fly that buzzes around. So it's going to be N. KN, when KN is together, it is the K is silent and it says N. It just says the N. Okay. WR, the W is silent, so it just says like in the word write, like I'll write you a letter. And I think I found all of them. Oh, one more. The SC. So in the word scene, like a scene from a movie, the C is silent and it's just going to say S. So it would be S, O, ger, n, I, ed, ing. And I'll let you do the rest of those on your own, but you do need to read those out loud until you're confident and until you can identify these letter patterns, these phonics patterns, that when they're stuck together, we have a silent letter. So we have SC says S, MB says GN says N, KN says N, WR says Okay, so you want to be really confident in those because we're going to be reading those a lot. Then we're going to read our word fluency list. Seen, limbs, packed, neck, wrecked, high, knives, mountains, osprey, Nash, sleep, beavers. Read those words as many times as you need to get comfortable with them. The phrases and sentences fluency list. You're going to read these as many times as you need to until you feel really strong, okay? So I'll read a couple. Has scenes packed. Added 2 limbs. Has the sea. Osprey has a knack. Can't be wrecked in this scene. I'll let you finish it out. But you need to do this whole page. When I'm doing this in class, depending on how difficult it is, we might read these 2 or 3 times because this is a more difficult phonics pattern and our brains are kind of like, oh, does that MB say mba or does it say I'm going to recommend that you practice this at least 2 times today so that we can get really good at this phonics pattern, okay? Then we're going to be Then we're going to be looking at this decodable, right? So after we have practiced all of those words and phrases, we should be ready to read this story all about a different habitat in the earth. And we're going to be asking ourselves, what makes different places in the world different? So we can listen to it here.
Practice reading our silent letter spellings in our decodable Arcadia scenes.
Or, it moved on to the next. Or you can read it here by yourself. So this is called Arcadia Scenes, and we're going to learn about the different animals that live there and the habitat there. And the nice thing about this is that it has all of the phonics patterns that we've already learned. So I recommend that you listen to it once because, like I said, this phonics pattern this week is harder. It might not be one that we're as familiar with. And then I want you to try to read it alone by following this link. All right? And then we're going to get into, if it'll click for me, our grammar. So for grammar, we are talking about linking verbs. So we're learning about linking verbs. So a linking verb does not show action, right? It is a little bit of a different verb. So usually we say a verb is an action word like listen, talk, run. But a linking verb actually connects the subject to the rest of the sentence. So we're going to be talking about that through this video and a little bit later on. So please watch this video, then click escape because you have an assignment. And
verb connects
she's talking.
Subject to the rest of the sentence.
And listen to her, listen to the little audio clip, and then it talks about this. So like I said, a linking verb connects the subject to the rest of the sentence, and a linking verb does not show action. The linking verb be has special forms like is, are, and am. Parrots are birds. The linking verb is are. The forest is big. The linking verb is. I am in the forest. Am is the linking verb because it takes the subject I and it connects it to the rest of the sentence. So what you're going to do is you are going to drag and drop. You're going to read each sentence right here. Forests are busy places. And you're going to circle the linking verb. So you're going to drag and drop the red circle to the linking verb, right? What connects the subject to the rest of the sentences? To the rest of the sentence, excuse me. You're going to do that for 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, we're back in present mode because we have another video coming up. So we're talking about capitalizations of proper nouns. So we know that we need to capitalize proper nouns. Proper nouns include things like the names of people. So like my name is Mrs. Salisbury. So when I write it, I capitalize the M in Mrs. and the S in Salisbury. Another proper noun is like the specific name of a place. So school is not a proper noun because it's not specific. But if I said Stansbury Elementary, that's talking about a specific school. So Stansbury and elementary would both be capitalized. This video is going to talk to you a little bit more about that. And then you're going to hit escape because you've got another assignment. And these are all going to be about proper nouns. So just like we talked about, proper nouns name specific people, places, or things. And proper nouns have to start with a capital letter. So some proper nouns are the names of geographical places. You're probably thinking, geographical, that's such a big word. But geographical just means like a place on the earth. So if we look at the examples, Florida is a state, like Utah. Europe is a continent, like North America. South America is another continent, like North America, where we live. United States, that's a country, like Mexico, or like El Salvador, okay? Pacific Ocean, that's a specific ocean, right? I'm not just talking about any ocean, I'm talking about the Pacific Ocean. California, that's a state, like Utah. So what you're going to do is you're going to read each word on each problem. There's only one proper noun. You're going to circle the proper noun, and then you're going to correctly type it in the box. Now, please listen. When you type it in the box, in order to get full points, It has to be capitalized because proper nouns are capital letters, right? So we don't want the whole thing in capital letters, right? Like that would be crazy. If Mrs. Salisbury wrote her name like this with super capital letters, she would get a 0. That is not the right way to write my name. We don't use all capital letters. Nope. And if Mrs. Salisbury wrote her name like this, with all lowercase letters, that would also get her a 0. What does she need? I would need to have a capital S, and the rest of my name would need to be lowercase. So after you find the proper noun, you will type it in the box, but you need to capitalize the first letter, all right, in order to get full points. We're back in present mode. We're going to watch a video with our high frequency words. As she's doing this, you need to be spelling them out loud with her and reading them with her. And then,
Below.
Escape, escape. That means you have an assignment. You are going to type in the words. So read each word. After you read the words, type it in the box. Then turn in your assignment. You're awesome. Thank you.